Let's just start with Chelsea first. So many opportunities in the first half, a few more in the second half. Just one goal to show from it. How do you think they're feeling about this victory today?
Really good. Really good. It's a derby. They are fourth. They're fourth in the Premier League. This is going to be a brilliant race for fourth and fifth spot. We think it's going to be Champions League qualification. All the big clubs this midweek round have won their games to fight for these positions. That's a really big win. For the manager as well, fans seemed happy. They played really well. The football was good. We talked about the kind of system that he plays, Maresca, and the way it gets Enzo Fernandez and Cole Palmer, the really good attacking midfield players, in good spots to produce, to score, to create. And he's done that with his system. It's a little unusual. It's kind of tactical, but I like what he's doing at Enzo Maresca. And I just personally hope that this continues, this project, that they'll add some more players in the summer. It's different, it's young, sometimes not consistent, but you see with the key players back in the team, I think they're a pretty good team.
It's interesting because when you talk about key players back into the team, and Tottenham Hotspur would feel that some of their key players are back, in some respect, they didn't affect the game. The Chelsea players did affect the game. And I'll go back to our phrase of the day, adopting an aggressive attitude was why players got yellow cards. Adopting an aggressive attitude is what Spurs needed to do, certainly in that second half, when I thought they were quite insipid. I was watching the game and I was saying to myself, I can't kind of see how they're going to score their goals. The one thing you used to like and understand about Ange's football was it's a certain way of playing. They're going to get those bodies forward. They're going to create chances. We didn't see. It was 66 minutes before they had a shot on target in this game today. That cannot be good enough. And what is it, 1 win in 40 at Chelsea now? Chelsea didn't have to be at their best, but they were good enough to beat a Spurs team who now sit 14th in the league. 10 places behind Chelsea. They've lost 16 Premier League games this season. That's almost relegation form.
It was just a couple of weeks ago, Ange Postecoglou said, we cannot just focus on Europa. We need to finish this domestic league, the right way. Some of the decisions he's making with who he's playing and who he's not playing, you question how much they are focused on the Premier League.
Well, I feel strongly about this. Like, this is a derby game. The Europa game is a week. It's a week's time. This should have been the strongest team. Maybe Ange can argue that Brennan Johnson, who's got a ton of goals this year for Spurs,
9 goals, yeah,
hasn't been, like, as a knock or something. There's a couple of decisions. Archie Gray's been a really important player for him all season. Didn't get a look. He was on the bench. So I don't know if it's the strongest team. And to Robbie's point, like, their football, you used to be able to see what they're trying to do. Right now, I mean, with Chelsea, you can see exactly what they're trying to do. With Tottenham, it's got a little bit off the cuff for me. It's got a little bit off the cuff. Like, Maddison's role, they didn't get anything out of Maddison, compared to Chelsea. They got the best out of their more attack-minded players. So it's gone off the rails. Robbie's right with the stats and the numbers. The league table doesn't lie after 30 games. And I know they've got a chance to win the Europa League. And if he wins that competition, he's going to stay on. He'll stay on. But if he doesn't, there's going to be a change.
Rob, we're hearing some rumours as well about people at the stadium saying that his relationship with the fans were booing him when he made a change. I think Bergvall came off and Sarr came on. When Sarr scored the goal, apparently he was cupping his ear to the Spurs fans. Spurs fans didn't like that, and then he got jeered when the goal was disallowed. Those kind of things just are not helpful to the manager and not helpful to the situation at the moment. And Andy's a smart guy. He knows the vultures are out. He knows the pundits are ready to steam in. I really feel he's got to, listen, not only win the Europa League, but he's got to manage this club now for the next 8 games in the Premier League and get themselves up the table.
Hi, I'm Rebecca Lowe, and as we head towards the end of an exciting Premier League season, make sure you like and subscribe on the NBC Sports YouTube channel for more content like this.